Hello there! Well, today we'll be painting this DIY leaf triptych with Dimension Gold paint. The first step is to print out the PDF that can be downloaded from the information link above or at our website. This first leaf is the Monstera leaf, and to create it, first lightly mark in the general shape, then draw in each separate frond and hole. We need to create a neutral tone in the negative space around our leaf, and for this we'll be using titanium white, gold, lamp black and phthalo blue, all in Dimension acrylics. To apply the paint, Gallery Series brushes can be used. So squeeze out a thick bead of titanium white, then add a spot of each of the other tones and give it a mix. Remove any construction lines and loosely apply the paint. The beauty of a project like this is the simplicity of using only two colours on each canvas. That being said, on works that have only a few colours, more importance should be placed on creating interest through texture. I also paint the sides of the canvas. Once the background is in, we can lay on the gold. I try to create texture by applying the paint as thickly as I can and push and pull it around the canvas. Dimension acrylic is the ideal viscosity to achieve this, as it has a thick buttery consistency very similar to oil paint. The next leaf is the fern frond. This one can be handled by laying in the general shape first, then drawing in the main mid-rib. Then each vein off the mid-rib. Pay close attention to how each leaflet gets smaller as it moves up the mid-rib, and that the individual sub-leaves of each leaflet decrease in size as they move toward the tip. When these sub-leaves are laid in, the end of them is more acute and they lean forward a little. Lay more of that neutral grey in for the background and cut in around each sub-leaf. Add a thick line of paint down the mid-rib with a small flat brush held on its side. Try to make the bead of paint as pronounced as possible. Then apply paint to the leaflets. Apply the paint in dabs to each leaflet to reinforce the 3D quality of each one. Obviously the sub-leaves get larger as you move down the frond. Load the brush with more paint and apply more pressure to the brush so that the bristles splay out. The third leaf in our triptych is the oak leaf. Although this leaf is relatively easy to draw up, bear in mind that oak leaves are not symmetrical. So lay on that neutral grey and cut in around it. Create as much texture as you can. I then apply the gold paint. I will say as well that if you add a second coat of gold, once the first is dry, the gold effect is a lot more intense. This obviously brings up the level of the paint so the leaf looks more risen too. Oak leaves have quite an irregular surface, so I try to leave brush strokes visible to suggest this. I also create a risen bead of paint to suggest the stem moving up to the vein. And voila! Well, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the lesson and are inspired to create your own gold leaf triptych.